It is officially 2024, but the grind never stops on the beat selling front. 2023 was an awesome year for the channel as I embarked on the beat selling challenge where I tried to make $10,000 worth of beat sales, and I documented the whole thing. We ended up getting $13,000 in beat sales throughout the whole year, which is more than I could have hoped for. Obviously, the $10,000 beat selling challenge was a challenge by itself, but luckily things that have been implemented throughout the year helped me to strategize better and grow a good beat selling brand, which is definitely still in its infancy, but it was very reassuring for me that I could walk the walk and talk the talk for you guys in creating videos like this to help you get more beat sales, because it worked on my own channel. And I think that's part of the reason why I did all of this as a package, because I wanted to put that pressure on myself to put my money where my mouth was and implement all the strategies that I've been doing in videos on this channel throughout the year, and actually showing you them implemented into my own beat selling business, as I feel like that's a much better way for you to understand and implement it in your own beat selling store and learn something from these videos. Now, the word I said a lot in 2023 was niche. Now, that's not going to be the big factor that we need to consider mostly this year. That word is so 2023, and we're going to leave that word there. Well, actually, no, we're not, because it is still very much relevant even now. But there is one big fundamental thing I want to talk about, which I don't talk about a lot on this channel, which is going to be the word of 2024 for me, and what I'm going to be taking with me throughout this year to hopefully get more beat sales and improve the consistency with content on my channels and on BeatStars as well. So to not keep you waiting any longer, what is this word of 2024 which is going to help you get more beat sales? The word of 2024 is in fact remarketing. Now again, this is stuff I have touched on briefly on the channel, and before you click off this video, if you do not feel this is relevant for you, it definitely is, and I'll explain to you why. Whether you have 1 beat, 10 beats, 100 beats, or 1,000 beats, at some point in your beat selling careers, you are going to have to implement this and strategize this into your beat selling brand, because there is so many missed opportunities for sales that you might be missing out on if you're not implementing remarketing strategies at all. And now for me, how I thought I could better my 2023 year as a beat seller was really focusing on this a lot more than I did in 2023. The reason why 2023 wasn't the right time to really talk about remarketing was because I was only a year and a half into beat selling by the time this year was nearly up. And for the large part, I've still been trying to find my place in the beat selling industry with the type of beats I wanted to upload and what actually works for me personally as a beat seller. But thankfully, because of the beat selling grind I've been on now for nearly 2 years, I now have a very healthy back catalogue of beats uploaded to BeatStars. I think it's about 440 that I've got across Airbit, BeatStars, and with soundee a little bit behind with about 300 and something. And the way you got to look at it is that is 440 assets that you've got to be trying to sell on a constant basis. One of the biggest mistakes I'm still seeing beat makers make, and actually I made in 2023 as well, which could have got me more sales if I admit, is neglecting beats that you've had on your beat store for a while simply for the fact that they're not getting any engagement or any interest. Now in 2023, I did try to think of solutions of how you can actually be trying to drive more people to beats that you uploaded a long time ago, because I do understand that when you upload beats, you normally have more time and more focus on beats you've recently uploaded when it comes to marketing them. Now, we've discussed a lot about marketing, how you can do it with emails, YouTube type beat channels, with Instagram messaging, but it becomes a lot more difficult when it comes to remarketing, because when you have so many beats out there, it's hard to bring a light to every single beat at once, especially if you've got a big catalog. Now, if you do not have a big catalog, that's fine, because this is something that you can go back to once you start to build your catalog, and it incentivizes you to do that as well. However, if you're someone who now has a big catalog of beats, I'd say even over 50 beats, you should never lose sight of promoting beats, whichever ones you released ages ago. Can you even remember the first 20 beats that you uploaded, and when was the last time you plugged them on any of your stories or any of your channels? Because the simple fact is, each beat has a value, and if you want to make money selling beats, why wouldn't you try and sell that product? The more products that you're trying to sell, the more eyes that your beats naturally are going to get. So the big question now is, how do I go about doing that? Well, there's a couple different methods which I'm going to suggest to you now in this video, which could potentially help you get more beat sales. Now, the methods I'm about to tell you are ones that I'm implementing myself in 2024. So the first method I did briefly discuss last year, and that was the reposting on type beat channels. Now, I get a lot of people in the comments below last year saying, can you actually do that? Does that violate any YouTube copyright laws or anything like that? Well, no, it doesn't if you are going the right way about doing this. If you're someone who uploads 5 beats a week as well, it is a no-brainer, because then you can use the days you don't upload beats to repost beats which you uploaded a long time ago. video. The only thing you got to make sure that you're doing for YouTube especially is rebranding the beat slightly. We're talking slightly different SEO in the title and description, and the video content visually needs to be different as well if you want to make sure that you're not going to get any copyright issues. But I will tell you now, I've never had a single copyright issue doing this. This is definitely worthwhile for the beat makers who have over 400 beats, especially if you feel like you want to take a break from the consistent upload you're doing to actually create a backlog of beats. You can start reposting some of your earlier beats, which may not have actually performed that well for you before, but uploading them again now to which I presume would be a larger audience, because you've been growing your audience all this time, would mean that this beat gets a second chance to pop off on one of your beat stores or on your channel. Now, to take this a step further, I've actually started some sub-niche type beat channels where I'm reposting beats from my main type beat channel onto new type beat channels, and I did an experiment with synth pop beat and indie pop beats. The reason I did these ones was because these were type of beats which didn't perform well at all when even my BeatStars or on my type beat channel, but I made a lot of, and I wanted to give them a second chance. And the early signs so far are actually very promising that this is a very good method for me to do it, so I'm going to be doing that going forward. So for 2024, I especially plan to have about 5 or 6 channels within the JG Beats brand. For me, because I do a lot of sub-genre pop ones, it's going to be stuff like synth pop beats, indie pop beats, piano ballads, maybe acoustic pop, country pop. Really trying to hyper target niches, which nowadays in the algorithm will favor you a lot more. So that's just one method you can do. But again, one thing I will say is you do need to have a back catalog of beats and different variety of subgenres to be able to do this. Then the next method you can do as well is, especially if you're doing stuff like email marketing, is start creating albums on your BeatStars account, or if you're on YouTube, playlists, because this way you can categorize every single beat you make into different styles, artist styles or genres. So if people want to listen and browse your beats, they can check them out that way without having to scroll right to the way to the bottom of your beats. You want to make sure you keep these album and playlists to about 20 tracks in length, then that gives a really good chance of your beats getting listened to. And on top of that, because you can set the ranking of the beats, if you want to give exposure to a beat which you think's really cool and will actually sell. For example, I do Taylor Swift beats as one of my subgenres, and if I had a Taylor Swift beat I released in one of my first 5 ever beats which I think was really cool, I could place that at the top of my playlist, which new listeners now who are now checking out my beats which didn't at the start will get fresh ears to check out this beat, and to them it will be like the first time they've heard. You can also try and strategize this way into email marketing as well, creating playlists and stuff like that to go to listen to. I know you can do it on BeatStars, you can do it on YouTube type beat channel. Pretty sure you could probably do it on Airbit and soundee as well. But just doing stuff like this now is really going to start giving you a chance to actually sell more beats, and potentially even stuff like bulk deals as well, because you're not just advertising one beat anymore, you're advertising multiple beats at once. So yes, I'm going to cover this a lot more in future videos because I could go on for quite a long time about different remarketing strategies, but as it's the first video of the year, I just wanted to get across to you what the main focus is going to be of this year for me as a beat seller. And again, that is that magical word, remarketing. That is the word of 2024 when it comes to beat selling, and you're going to be hearing it a hell of a load more. So guys, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.